I'm Mo Rocca, and I'm excited to announce Season 4 of my podcast, Mobituaries. I've got a whole new bunch of stories to share with you about the most fascinating people and things who are no longer with us. From famous figures who died on the very same day, to the things I wish would die, like buffets. All that and much more. Listen to Mobituaries with Mo Rocca wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and in today's episode, first things first, Merry Christmas to those that celebrate, this holiday. For those that don't, Happy December 25th. I don't know. I don't know what they do on this day, but anyways, overall though, I wanted to talk on more so giving out advice to content creators, and I mean just about anybody out there where, and it's something that I've said before where it's like, criticism shouldn't matter, but a lot of the times criticism just doesn't even make any sense. Like, I feel like that a lot of people, they will see something like that, it stands out in their life, which is some form of criticism, right? So, and it's like a movie, comic book, music, whatever it is. Criticism has that same effect on some people. Now, in my situation, I had it where commentary channels was like coming after me and other people that did videos like myself, and eventually it just got to the point where it was like, a lot of the other commentary channels, I feel like, realized that, okay, well, none of it even had mattered in the first place. Like, people still watch these videos, and that's the thing where it's like a lot of people, you can come out and say how you hate something, right? And even I say this like when I'm streaming, where it's like I'll say that I don't like a particular video game. And for an example, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, don't like it, don't care for that game, don't care for playing that game ever again. But there are people out there that like it. There are people out there that play it every day. There are people out there that literally base their content creating careers off of that game. Now, my say-so on that game, it shouldn't justify the say-so for everybody. It should just only justify how I feel about it. Now, I'm not here to argue about people about how I like a video game or how I dislike a video game, but I'm not going to change how I feel about it because the majority of the audience loves that video game. I don't care what the audience thinks. I never did care what the audience thinks. I care about what I think, but not what the audience thinks. Like in some situations, in some situations and cases is more so on if it's something that we all like together. But if it's something that I don't like, I'm not going to involve myself in that crowd unless I'm, going to be respectful. The thing is, and what do I overall mean by that, is that if I go to a person's Twitch channel, YouTube channel, whatever, I will sit there and watch them play it because I can see that person is having fun, but I'm not going to play it myself. I don't care for playing the game. Like I said, I don't like it that much. So it's one of those games where I'm like, when they come out with some updates, fix up some things, change some things around, then I'll probably play it. But until then, yeah, I'm not going to waste my time playing it just so I can keep actively making myself. Because the one thing that I realized, and it's something that I've realized this long before I was in content creating, but it makes no sense to continuously put yourself in a situation where you're just going to keep actively making yourself upset. So like in probably the one example, and it's one of the most realistic examples that I can possibly use, is like a bad relationship, for an example. Now, I know in most cases people will be all like, the reason why they stay in a bad relationship because they love that individual, right? Makes sense. I get that. I don't love Call of Duty, so therefore I'm not going to. And that's the thing where it's like, when I look at the situations that I've dealt with where I had like people getting on me, I don't think it was a thing that they like. It was the same effect as love, but it was more so used in a negative way. So that's why I had to say, like, in my situation. But yeah, like, just talking on examples and stuff, I don't love Call of Duty, so therefore I don't have to ever play Call of Duty again in my life. All right. Now, there were older Call of Duties that I did like, but if I want to go and play those older Call of Duties, I very well will. But that doesn't mean I have to go like, oh, if you're gonna play the older Call of Duties, you gotta play the newer Call of Duties. I don't have to do nothing. See, that's the thing where it's like a lot of times is that people want to have control over your life. It's so weird because I'm like, fam, we all have our own individual lives. If I want to make mistakes or if I want to do the right things in life, whatever it is, fam, this is my life. I am allowed to do whatever I want to do. Now, yes, there is consequences behind actions, that I cannot do. But overall, though, it's like, I should be able to do whatever. Well, okay, let me, take back because, I don't want people to take that in as advice and be like, oh, well, I could go rob a bank. TMossBoss said, it's my life. I could do it. No, don't do illegal stuff, okay? Do things where it's like going to have a positive effect on yourself and others around you. Now, I don't mean going out, it's like, well, there's illegal things that you can do that can have the pot. No, it cannot. If it's illegal, it is illegal. Okay, so don't, and I know there's gonna be people like, oh, well, you were illegally reacting to videos and stuff. There's a difference between you can't go to jail. That's one thing I remember. I used to say that so much back then. It's like you can't, because they made it seem like that with reaction videos was the all-time worst videos that you can possibly post. Like you should be like sentenced to prison for doing reaction videos. And that was one thing where I'm all like, okay, well, if reaction videos are illegal, just like how any other videos are illegal on YouTube, right? My videos should get taken down. Now, there has been times where content creators have taken down, but it's like what? Like 1 or 2 out of the thousands of videos that I've reacted to? And it's like, yeah, if that person doesn't like it, okay, then I won't react to that person. But what do I tell the people that do like my reaction videos? Like it's something that it's like, yeah, people don't they only want to think for themselves. They don't want to think for others. And that's why I'm like, and especially in the content creating business, you can't, criticism is just, it's not going to make any sense. It's like, because it's like if it's coming from an audience that knows that they don't like the videos that you're doing, why are they even watching the videos in the first place? My thing is this. It's one thing if, like, let's say if the YouTuber, all right, PewDiePie, if he were to come, because he does reaction videos, so let's say if he were to come to my channel, which I highly doubt, but let's say if he were to come to my channel and watch one of my reaction videos, I feel like this, he would say something that's more so inspiring, motivating, like, hey, like there's this, he's gonna actually give me advice. He's gonna actually give me some sort of constructive criticism, because the times where people have asked me, and actually there's a prime example, and I feel like the best criticism comes from your friends, because especially if a friend that you're close to, they're gonna be like, hey, you know what? No, I'm gonna help you out. And that's how you hear like those best friend stories, like, oh yeah, my best friend is my camera person, or my best friend's my editor, or my best friend, whatever the situation is. But usually it's coming from your friends, where it's like the best. If you're gonna get any criticism, it has to come from your friends, and if they're gonna be negative, they're not really your friends. Okay, so it's usually the ones that care about you. Yeah, they're the ones where it's like they're gonna give you the best criticism and stuff. Or if they're like, and I guess like I know people will say something like, well, what if they're telling me like, content creating isn't for me and stuff? I see, and the thing is like, they could be saying it out of love, maybe because they know what happens, but it's like, sit there, that's why I say like communication is key, like, communicate with them, talk with them, understand why. But no, I remember back when I was in high school, and one of my friends, I've told this story before, but one of my friends, so she created a YouTube channel, and one of the first people that she told was me. She wanted me to sit down and watch it. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it. I ain't got nothing else to do. I'm like, shoot, I was like, I think there's like, I think she was like the first, like, well, no, I take that back. She wasn't the first. It was actually the person that got me into podcasting, my friend Angela. She was the first one that I actually had seen when it came. Nope, I take that back. She wasn't the first one either. It was actually the guy that got me into YouTube. Okay, so no, but anyways, so I remember she had sent me her video, and I can tell that she was like really nervous in her video, but I'm like, fam, that's everybody. At the time being, like, I think I was laughing and cracking jokes because it was like, this is a close friend of mine. Like, me and her, we would like always hanging out, always just, just laughing, chopping it up about random stuff. So, but anyways, but no, I could tell she was like mad nervous in the video. Like, she wasn't blinking. She just came off as like very robotic in that video. But the thing is that she built that confidence. The one thing that I can say very, respectful about her, and I think now, like, she does like graphic art, so she's really like, excelled. Is that a proper word to use? Regardless, she's taken off when it comes to, content creating stuff. But anyways, but no, like, yeah, when she did her first YouTube video, fam, you can tell right off the back she was nervous. Now, yeah, high school me, he was cracking up laughing about that video, but I think adult me would see that and be all like, okay, that was a good start. Best advice I can give you, and this probably ain't gonna be in your next video or any other videos or, in the near future, but at some point in time, like, you just gotta loosen up a little bit, because I could tell you was mad nervous. But that's the thing though, everybody is nervous when they do that first video. I was nervous when I did my first video. I didn't even know. The thing is that I was already recording videos. Like, I had a camera already before I had started doing, like, YouTube and stuff. So, or at least started posting YouTube videos. But so anyways, so I remember, yeah, like in like July 2010 when I had created my YouTube, my second, at the time that was my second YouTube channel. But anyways, so I created it. And yeah, I was just posting like old videos. It wasn't nothing new. It was just videos I had already recorded on my digital camera and stuff. So, but yeah, then as the time progressed on, and it was like, okay, voice got deeper, I got a little bit older, I got a little bit smarter when it came to content creating decisions. I knew what I wanted to talk about. I knew I was good at what I wanted to talk about and stuff. So I was like, okay, what could possibly go wrong? And that's like the key advice that you got to look at, is that only the technical things is going to go wrong. But you, as a content creator, you can upload the most cringiest, worst video that you have ever posted of all time. The fact that you posted that video, no. The fact that you went out to go get the gear to record that video, you sat there and recorded that video, you edited the video if you decided to do any editing to it. But yeah, overall, like, you made that choice on whether you wanted to, go the next step with content creating. And the next step with content creating that a lot of people take is just opening up, being, themselves when they, step into the content creating world. And I think a lot of people need to know that and understand that you can't go wrong being yourself when it comes to content creating. Like, yeah, and there's gonna be people in this world, they're gonna say, no, you're wrong, you're this, you're that. Bruh, that's what I mean. Like, a lot of times content criticism, just it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's pointless. It's one of the most, like, the thing is this: if it's coming from people that genuinely care, or has put in either the equal or more work than you, that's gonna be where the real criticism is at. But from a person that's never been in your shoes, they've never made the videos that you've made, they, only are saying negative things about you. Like, and that's why it's like, when it came with me and content creating and just seeing how many negative things, yeah, people were saying, and I'm like, bruh, what? No, this isn't. I'm not gonna look at that as criticism. I'm just gonna look at that as you just being plain old hateful. It's like you're angry at the fact that I'm making a success out of the videos that I am doing, even if they are the most dumbest videos. Like, I had people criticize like my early like high school videos, like the videos I was doing before 2015, when I actually sat down and decided to start being like really serious with content creating. But yeah, I remember the one video, and I think I was gonna do a story. I think I still might do a story time on it on TikTok. But anyways, no, there was a time where I remember where they had criticized a video of me when I was in high school, when the only thing, and the thing is this, those is like my like early development videos. That's what I would consider those videos. Those are the videos where it was like, okay, like, this is the beta version of TMossBoss. And then I went into like early access to the public. It's still like the videos were public, but still, like, like, I was just learning to be myself when it came to content creating back before 2015. But yeah, it was a video of me talking about how I had beat the video game Halo 4. And in that time and place where I'm like, okay, I play a video game, start up the campaign story, whatever, never finish it. There's so many video games that I've had. I had to say probably a good 80, or if not 80, 90% of the video games I've ever owned, where if they've had a story mode, I did not finish it. There's some games where I did finish it, but there's a lot of games from Nintendo 64, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Nintendo Switch, PC, mobile, what else? Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP. I'm trying to think, what are some other games? There are a lot of games on a lot of different consoles that I did not beat. And I think if YouTube, because when did 50 Cent Bulletproof, when did that game come out? Because that was the first video game that I had ever beaten. Hold on for a second. What did I just do? F11. Okay, 50 Cent Bulletproof. This game, I think, came out in November 2005. When did YouTube come out? Because I think that might have been, it lunged in. Oh, so it was earlier that year. Fam, if I had knew about YouTube, I think it took me a little while to beat this game. But if I knew about YouTube back then when 50 Cent Bullet, I made a video about me beating that game. Because that was technically the first video game that I had ever beat, but yeah, overall, though, I posted a video of myself, talking about how I beat Halo 4. And they really sat down and took the time, because what I personally think that there is no other videos that they can find of mine. So they was okay, well, let's go and check back on some of his earlier videos, probably thinking that they were going to find something that they can use against me. But they're using a video of me when I was in high school, and I was probably one of the most camera shyest people out there, to where it was that video, it took a lot for me to make that video. But overall, I was happy and excited the fact that I had just beat a video game. So my thing is but it was there was people that was getting on me about it. My thing is why? Do you honestly think, my thing is this, and that's to ask anybody this question, do you think you're going to sit down and watch, or look at a review? Let's say, for an example, you're looking at a review for a commercial ad. Do you think that's overall what that is? It ain't they're out here reviewing or criticizing movies, TV shows, music, whatever. And even then, it's still, it don't matter. Even if it is something that's far more, work put into it than my video. But is it gonna matter? And that's what my thing is do you honestly think somebody is going to sit down and watch a criticizing video about TMossBoss on how he was talking about how he beat Halo 4? Do you think anybody is gonna pay attention to that? Do you think anybody is really gonna watch that? Because if so, bruh, like I have said numerous times, you got to get your life and priorities straight. Nobody is not going to sit down and watch a video about TMossBoss talking about how he beat Halo 4. I didn't even watch that video. So, what do you guys honestly think you're going to gain from that? So yeah, it's things like that where it's you got to look down and think about it. You can upload the most dumbest video that you've ever uploaded. If anybody, if they do go out of their way to make a video about it, then that's just them wasting their time. That's how you gotta look at it. It's a lot of times, haters, people that want to leave these quote unquote criticizing, constructive criticism, all this stuff, they want to leave those comments. It's a waste of time. It's you're not gaining anything, you're not accomplishing anything. You are literally wasting your time when you're typing out a comment talking about why you don't like this video, or same thing with movies, music, all that stuff. It is a waste of time. There's at times where I wasted my time, and I'll talk on a video game, movie, all that stuff. I know that it's a waste of time. I wish others will admit and know, but I think they, a lot of the times, people, they just got too much pride and they don't want to admit their faults in life. So overall, on that note, all I'm going to say about that is that nobody in this world is perfect. So stop trying to be, because it's not possible. Nobody in this world can be perfect. Upload the perfect video. There's going to be heartwarming. The funny thing is this. I've seen before YouTube had disabled dislikes, I've seen videos of like the most heartwarming, like dogs and, families being surprised by their like veteran family members, like those videos where it's like a soldier come back home after they did like 4 or 5 tours or something. And they're coming back home, dogs like all like barking, going crazy, waggling their tail back and forth. They go to a kid's school, surprise them during the assembly and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, I'm home, all that stuff. And yeah, it's like I've seen where videos like that will get dislikes. I've seen like, it's so many different things out there where it's like they have gotten dislikes and hate before. And when I guess you see so much of that, like when you spend enough time with content creating, or just not even just on the internet, when you spend enough time on the internet, you'll see how many people on here are just overall wasting their time. So anyways, yeah, that's why I just, I always will say it. Constructive criticism, regular criticism, medium size, extra medium, whatever, like extra small medium, like I don't know, bro. But anyways, any form and size of criticism is pointless, because at the end of the day, nobody even when it's like a movie, I guess like with some sort, maybe if it's like a food, if it's like, if like, okay, my health is in jeopardy, I feel like that's like the only form of criticism that actually matters, where, and even then it's all like, people still go out and and I feel like it ain't even like criticism if you're like warning people like, hey, there's this ingredient in the food, don't eat it, I had it and it made me sick and all that stuff. If you're dumb enough to go out and eat that food, then I'm like, yeah, fam, that's on you, I'm sorry. But other than that though, like if they're all like, oh, this food's disgusting, I hate it, I just overall I overall hate French fries or something, I'm like, all right, I mean, they didn't really tell me why. Like, they just said that they hate it. I didn't learn nothing from this video. Like, and that's the thing, where it's like, anybody that did watch the video, that, most likely there probably are going to be some haters where they will hear this podcast and stuff. What did you learn from me talking about how I had beat Halo 4 when I was in high school? And this was like at the peak of me being this shy kid making videos. What did you learn or gain from that? Because I honestly, if I were to be like, if I was a hater of myself, like if I didn't know who I was, or if I did know who I was along with the hate group and stuff, and I had watched that video, maybe one day I need to just sit down and watch that video. Because I think I remember posting it, and then after that I just left it alone and stuff, never looked back or thought about it again. But yeah, other than that, it was like, what can you take from that video and tell the world about it? Because like my thing is, the way people try to like paint me out as the villain, which at this point I don't even care no more. I'm like, people want to paint me out as a villain, go right ahead. I will roll out the red carpet for each and every one of you guys to paint me out as a villain. But if you guys are going to paint me out as a villain, right? I know there's going to probably be some other things that they're going to say, about me. But if you had to use that video, I feel like that's when everybody would just be all like, wait a minute, what does this have to, is this the reason why? Because I feel like, no, they're going to have people did have a part to say about that. I remember after the video got out where somebody was criticizing me about that. There was people commenting on it, and I'm like, how does this make you angry? How does this make anybody angry? It makes you angry. Fam, you're watching a video of me from 2012, 10 years ago, bruh, when I'm 16, okay, just started YouTube like 2-3 years ago. I'm like, bruh, I ain't even trying to hear it. like 2 years and some months. I'm not hearing that. So but anyways, like I said, criticism, it's pointless. All right. So it's, especially, and it's coming from people where it's like, if they know that they're not going to like whatever they're getting themselves into, why, listen to them? I feel like we got to start listening to people that's like, they actually care, for spreading some just neutral news. But if it's like, if you already know you're going to hate something, why even put yourself in that situation? It's especially if there ain't even nothing funny to say. Like, I feel like a lot of people watch like Gordon Ramsay videos and then they try to pick up from that. And I'm like, fam, at least Gordon Ramsay is funny. At least he has like something, to go based off of. And that's literally his career, when he's telling cooks like, hey, he just overall wants the best out of them. But at the same time, though, because I know people probably would try to use him as an example, but at the same time, they're putting themselves in that situation. So it's one thing if you're putting yourself in that situation to where you want to get criticized by Gordon Ramsay. But at the end of the day, if you have nothing in your heart, no feeling in your heart to get criticized by Gordon Ramsay, you're not going to go to his restaurant and try out to be, some top chef. You ain't going to go on that Kitchen Nightmares, that Hotel One. What was the other shows that he's had? Yeah, you're not going to put yourself in, I think, what was it, the F Word or something? Doesn't he have a show called The F Word, I think? Hold on for a second. Let me see. The F Word, British television program. Dang, this... Wait, is this show? Did this show end? Final episode? Oh, it ended. It ended like, yeah, dang, it ended. Excuse me, it ended a long time ago, back in 2010. Okay, so, but yeah, it's like Gordon Ramsay. It's like you're not gonna put yourself in a situation where you're gonna get criticized by the man, and you don't even want to be criticized by the man. I guess overall, like, be prepared if somebody comes in and starts criticizing your food if you are a chef. But overall, though, at the end of the day, it's like, does it matter? All these other people have said my food is good, so why am I gonna listen to the one person and that that got a group of his friends, and of course a group of his or her friends, they're gonna agree with him because that is their friend. They're gonna say, oh yeah, the food's horrible because they're agreeing with their friend. And I'm like, and that's the thing where it's like, if you're that weak-minded to where you will agree with your friend that fast, unless you've tried the food and you have the same feeling yourself, like you actually feel that you don't like that food, fam, then it's like, that's it's just a lot of weak-minded people where it's like they, oh, I hate TMossBoss. Oh, yeah, I did, and they don't even know why. So, but anyways, and that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on a podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. Make sure you subscribe to one of my 46 YouTube channels. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Instagram at TMossBoss. And make sure you follow my Facebook page at TMossBoss fan page. Also, if you are purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.